VP. Goal swung, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb in the first. One swing. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the fourth quarter. Tight ball game, 24-20. We're going to finish it out with y'all. Hey, you might see me get a little bit insufferable if my score prediction ends up being correct. I don't know how many of y'all saw the reel, the TikTok, the short that I put out before the game. Final score prediction was 27-24 Dallas. Wouldn't that be something? I will be so upset if I get the score prediction correct and did not put a single dime on it being right. But I'll be very happy that at least the Cowboys got a dub. Hey, look, this is going to be a fun finish here. You got 2nd and 14. The Eagles have been grounded and pounded on this drive. CeeDee Lamb with a huge drop, man. Look, you know, CD is electric. He's been really pretty solid this game, in all honesty, but that was a big drop on third down. Big drop on third down, man. CD has some drops like that. He has some drops like that occasionally. Just a really bad time for a drop. Dak has had a couple of balls that he has put right on people. And look, I know I might get a little bit of pushback for this. Hear me out. On the Ferguson penalty in the end zone, Ferguson should have caught that football. I'm sorry. He was not even contacted, and he had already dropped the football. It was literally right in his hands. Hadn't even been touched yet. Now, who knows if he actually hangs on? I think that's questionable, but Ferguson didn't even get close to catching that ball. Hurts is flushed out here. He is going to throw it away, and the Eagles are going to have a 3rd and 14. 3rd and 14 here. Yeah, look, the fumble was terrible too, John. Look, I'm not saying it's Ferguson's fault that we're not winning this ball game right now. I think you could definitely point to the Miles Sanders fumble, the CD drop. Dak, I think, has had a great game. I mean, as much crap as Dak gets. And look, we've been critical about Dak here on the show. My longtime listeners, you know this. We have been critical at times of Dak. He has been good. And look, you would have expected maybe a little rust. He has been really, really good tonight. I do not have a lot of complaints about Dak Prescott in this one. Eagles are going to get stopped. 4th and about 5 is what it looks like it's going to be. I cannot imagine Nick Sirianni is going to gamble with this one. 4th and 5. I think you got to pin the Cowboys deep here. I'll be shocked if they go for it, man. They might. He's just crazy enough. He's got the offense out there, man. He is just crazy enough. Here we go. Maybe this will be a bluff. It could be a bluff. 15 seconds on the play clock. They might. 5 seconds. They're bluffing. They're bluffing. Yep. I thought they might actually go for it. I honestly did. They're going to take a delay of game. I'll tell you what, Nick Sirianni, he is a little bit of a riverboat gambler, man. He will do stuff like this. I was not going to be surprised if they snap that football. I mean, look, I know clearly in hindsight they're trying to get him to jump there, but it would not have surprised me in the least bit. In the least bit. So back to Dak, who's going to take the field hopefully here in a little bit. Dak Prescott, I think, not having played in a long, long time in a meaningful game, has come out and really given the Cowboys a really good shot to win this ball game. Like I said, has put a couple of footballs right on the money, man. Angled kick here is going to go out. Cowboys are not going to get pinned like crazy. I think that's got to be keep walking, baby. Keep walking. Keep walking. That might be about right. I was going to say 15-yard line. They're going to put it at the 13. Cowboys are going to have to go 87 yards to pay dirt to get this one. 4 down territory, I'm assuming. Depends on, I think, how deep you get, on how far you're able to march down the field here. We'll see what happens. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Riverboat, baby. That's right. Riverboat Ron. I'll tell you what, Nick Sirianni's in the same category. He really is. Nick Sirianni and Riverboat Ron right in the mix. Do I think Prescott finances what is that? Sorry, my white finances his waterbed. He's got the, what has he got? The CERTA or whatever it is, sleep number. Oh, Dak don't play with no waterbed. Right on Cowboys, that's right. Hey, right on Rangers, obviously, is the name of the show for the real OGs, man. You know how it is. We start with Rangers, and we just do a little bit everything, mostly DFW sports, but we do throw the Longhorns in the mix. A lot of DFW sports here on the channel. Doug, you're welcome. Look, Ethan, I got to give you some props here, man, if you're still hanging out. The comment on YouTube is, same score if Parsons was in Dallas right now. Do we agree? Same score if Parsons is in this game right now? Does anybody think this score is different with Micah Parsons in the ballgame? I tend to agree with Ethan. I really don't think this game is a whole lot different with Micah. I think that this game is probably right around this score. Cowboys down slightly in the fourth quarter. And that is why I think you do feel okay. I'm not going to say you feel great. You feel ecstatic that you don't have Micah Parsons anymore. I think it's why you feel okay that they made the trade that they did. They didn't pay almost $50 million a year for an edge rusher. And you didn't pay that to a guy that may or may not have a true impact on the Cowboys' end goals in 2025, which is, I think, one, to make the playoffs. And, of course, get as far as they can in the playoffs. I don't know how many wins Micah Parsons is really worth. And Jacob, we're kind of getting into this a little bit right now. Great to see you, bro. By the way, all y'all on TikTok, give Jacob a follow, man. The content is amazing. Bro is hilarious. Well worth it. Appreciate you, my guy. I don't love getting rid of Micah, and I think the Cowboys really did make a very good attempt to keep him. They offered him $200 million. And I think the price just got a little bit high. A lot of y'all I know were complaining, why didn't they trade him before the draft? They were trying to keep him. They wanted to keep Micah Parsons. That's why they didn't trade him before the draft. I genuinely believe, I don't think Jerry had it in his mind, I'm trading Micah in March or April. I would have loved to have gotten a deal done last year, not have waited till this year. I will say this, Jacob, like, Parsons did say, and I know my true Cowboys fans, my diehards, you're going to back me up on this. Did Micah not say he was going to take a team-friendly deal? Did Micah Parsons not say he was going to be willing to take less? He didn't need to be the highest paid player. He didn't need to be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. He wanted to do what was best for the team. If you have not seen the interview, you need to go and educate yourself. Did Micah Parsons appear willing to take a team-friendly deal in the summer months when he made his trade request? I don't think so. So I'm okay with Micah getting traded. I think that the Cowboys did the absolute best that they could. They got a couple first-rounders. You also got a pretty good D-tackle. I might be putting it lightly. You got a pretty good D-tackle in Kenny Clark. I think he has a half sack tonight. I'm good with it. I don't really agree. I think that they did okay. I mean, look, I know Jamal Adams is the big comp. Of course, the Jamal Adams trade, I think, got 3 first-rounders, if I'm not mistaken. I know a lot of people are comparing it to that. I don't think that they got fleeced by any means. We might have to agree to disagree. We might have to. Yeah, Mike, I'm with you. Never leave money on the table, sure, but don't come out on a podcast and say you're going to take a team-friendly deal. Don't come out on the podcast and say you're doing a team-friendly deal. Dak is going to have to just fling this one, and it is going to be an interesting decision here. You probably got a 4th and 6, maybe 4th and 6.5, 5 minutes left with 3 timeouts. This doesn't feel like a go-for-it situation. If you were a little closer to midfield, I think you would. Let's see what shot he wants to do here. First big decision for him. Man, Dak had nothing there. Just nothing. That was a bad – I agree with you, John. I was about to say terrible series. Yeah, they're punting it. They're going to punt it here. 4th and a long 7. I just figured with 3 timeouts, 5 minutes, you've stopped the Eagles a couple of times. Nice punt here. Fair caught at about the 25-yard line. Cowboys are going to have to get some stops here. They got the 2-minute warning, and they've got all 3 timeouts. 24-20, 4:43 remaining. Cowboys need a stop, need a score to get their first win of the season here. I don't think you have to punt, but it would definitely be a huge risk if you didn't. It would be a huge risk to not. At some point, I do think you're going to have to gamble a little bit here. This is the defending champions you're playing. I mean, I know we all don't love the Eagles, but this is the defending champs. You are not going to be able to just count on getting a stop every time against them. In fact, it's really unfortunate the offense has gone cold. You've gotten a couple of stops against Philly. You've gotten a couple of stops. Now the offense can't put a drive together. You are running out of chances here. How much longer is the defense going to be able to get these stops? We'll see. This is where it gets tough. 4th quarter, you got big old Barkley bearing down on you. You've been playing this long. You've had a weather delay. This is going to be a series that requires a lot of heart. Cowboys defense, man. A lot of grit. Tired, late. It is midnight now on the East Coast. These guys are going to have to fight through it, man. I don't know if that's game. I think the Cowboys can still get a stop. They just cannot leave it to 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. I mean, you see what they did. Freaking Packers, man. Am I right? Who was it? Like the Packers? Didn't the Packers and the Lions? Who was it that voted to keep the tush push? Whoever it was. Come on. Hate the tush push, man. I'm not a fan. I know people are going to say I'm salty. I don't even care. The tush push is stupid. Not a fan of it. I don't know if I hate it as much as the ghost runner rule in baseball, but it's getting up there. Not a big fan of that tush push rule. Stupid. I don't really think it's football. Doesn't feel like a football play to me. I get it. Eagles are really good at it. Why can't everybody do it? If they can do it well, somebody else should be able to. I'm not a fan. Won't be. That's all right. I don't even care if y'all say I'm salty about it. I don't even care. Say it. Not going to change my mind. Stupid play. Don't want to see it. Say whatever you got to say. We don't have to agree. It's a stupid play. Tush push, man. 2 dudes pushing either butt cheek of Jalen Hurts, getting 1 or 2 yards every time. Great football, baby. Great football. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Here's first down. Handoff to Barkley. He's going to get nowhere. Let's see how conservative the Eagles are. You got to figure they're taking a shot at some point here. They start pretty safe on first down. It's going to be 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11. Barkley just had nowhere to go. Look, Barkley, it feels like he's gotten his in the passing game. It does not feel like the Eagles have run wild. Jalen Hurts definitely has gotten some yards. Cowboys playing a lot of man defense, which leaves Hurts available to run depending on how you play it. So Hurts has definitely racked up the yardage, but Saquon, he has had not his most loud evening. Jalen Hurts going to go out of bounds here. I can't imagine that is what they wanted him to do there. I got to say, not a very smart play by Jalen Hurts. Going out of bounds. You got to slide in bounds there, my guy. I know he didn't have very far to go, but he didn't have a lot of room to work with. But you got to stay in bounds there. Have to. Have to. I have no clue what he's doing there. We keep rolling. It's going to be 3rd and 7. This is a huge play. Cowboys have a shot to get the ball back here. I think as long as it's not 4th and 1, you're going to see them punt. And the Cowboys are going to make a stop. It's going to be 4th and 3. Hurts fires it over to the sideline. Cowboys make a great stop. Oh, my goodness. Love that open field hit. And there's going to be a punt here. I cannot imagine Eagles are going to do anything tricky. Deron Bland. Money didn't make him soft. Am I right? Money did not make this man soft. That was a grown man hit coming up and delivering that blow. Getting the 4th down. Love that. Not easy, man. You're making that open field tackle. Dotson is trying to make a move on you. Bland, man. Good job. Great work. He slows him up just enough. Just enough. Man's going to send this one deep. Cowboys are going to, they won't be able to return it at all. Out of bounds. Looked like around the 20-yard line or so. We'll see where they spot it. Here we go. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and you had to burn 0 timeouts. You had to burn 0 timeouts. Things I wasn't expecting after having to punt the ball about 3 minutes ago. I was not expecting to have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left to work with. You figure now it's starting to get into do or die mode. I guess you got to see what unfolds, but it's starting to get into do or die mode. You can't be punting the ball away too many more times here. Yes, definitely watch B-ball, man. Mavs, my favorite team. For all of y'all that are brand new, I grew up in Arlington, live in Las Vegas now. Been here for about the last 15 years or so. Moved out here right after college. But, yeah, love all of the DFW teams. I mean, look, major pro teams we're talking here. Rangers, obviously, tried and true. Dallas Cowboys. Grew up about 5 minutes from the stadium right now. Love getting back every once in a while. Don't get back a ton. But, man, good memories, and it's fun being able to do this show. Get to connect with a lot of fans still in the area. I love it. That's really why I started this thing in the first place, honestly. So I appreciate all y'all hanging out. We got a big crowd on TikTok tonight, which is awesome. Hit that follow button, man. We are trying our darndest to get to 10K right now. We have 22. We need 22 people to get to 10K. Can we do it? Can we do it by the end of the live? I believe in y'all. I believe in y'all. We need 22 to get to 10K on TikTok. Come on now. Hit that follow button if you haven't hit it already. We hang out every week talking Cowboys football. We go live in the fourth quarter after the game's over. We go live after every Texas Rangers game, so we'll be live after every Silver Boot game this weekend, Astros and Rangers. We also go live after every Texas Longhorns game as well. So a lot of content, a lot of lives, a lot of sports talk. Hit that follow button and join in, man. Let's go. Hey, I am going to be insufferable. I told you this. I'm going to be insufferable if my score prediction is correct. I put out a video about an hour before game time. Go check it out if you haven't checked it out after the show is over. I said 27-24 Cowboys. It's literally the thumbnail. 27-24. If they end up getting that done, I am going to be insufferable. Let's see what happens, man. First play. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Dak in the shotgun. Steps back to pass. Fires on an out route. Nice catch by Fergie, man. That was a beautiful ball. Dak has been on point with the accuracy. He really has been. That was a spot where nobody was going to catch it except Fergie. Sticks out the one paw, is able to reel it in, gets out of bounds, gains about 5 on the play. JBJ, I appreciate you hanging out, though, still. I appreciate you hanging out, man. Dak standing in the pocket. He delivers. Oh, my goodness. Ball was almost intercepted. I jinxed him, y'all. That's on me. I got to knock on wood next time I give a compliment. Although Dak was under duress, man. I'm shocked he didn't get sacked. I am beside myself. I have no clue how he didn't get sacked on that play. Looked like CeeDee fell down. I don't know what's going on with the turf. I think he might have fell. I have no clue what happened there. Looked like he kind of stumbled and lost his footing a little bit here. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Here's the snap. Dak, plenty of time. Nice pocket. And he is going to hit Pickens on an out route. And that is going to be a nice gain for Dallas. Ball at about their own 40-yard line. Pickens, just a beautiful out route. Had to wait on it a little bit. Pickens had that much separation. Ball was a little behind. Great catch by George there. Outstanding. Pickens, 3 receptions, 30 yards on the game. Love to see him get involved a little bit more. I know it's been a bit of the CeeDee show. I know Dak's been going to Fergie a little bit. Like what I'm seeing from Pickens. Dak is going to wind up deep. And CeeDee dropped another one. Did CeeDee just drop another one? CeeDee, what is happening, bro? I got to see this again, y'all. That's right in the hands. Oh, man, sorry. I got up to an octave I didn't know I had on that play. That is 2 for CeeDee right in the freaking hands. I'm telling y'all, Dak is putting it on the money tonight. He did it with Ferguson in the end zone. He just did it with CeeDee. Bro is putting it on the freaking money tonight. Dak winds up. Tough play, man. Tough play. He throws into double coverage to Schoonmaker. I did not love the selection there. Throwing into double coverage. Cowboys are going to have 2 downs to get this done. CeeDee, no, baby, no. That was such a huge drop. Right in the bucket. Right in the bucket. I'm still beside myself. We got to move on. We got 2 more downs to work with right now. 3rd and 10. Dallas at their own 38-yard line here. 2.5 minutes left to go. 4 down territory. Maybe. Let's see. I think if you get this anywhere within 4 yards, you're probably going for it. Prescott, he fires it. Nice. We get up to about the 44-45. It's going to be about 4th and 3, 4th and 4. Big decision here. Cowboys maybe going to let it wind to the 2-minute. Or are they going to go element of surprise here? They got about 9 seconds. Looks like they're going to let it go. Dak kicking up the leg. No snap. 2-minute warning. CeeDee. I'm trying to see how this plays out. CeeDee has been pretty good tonight. He's had a couple of big drops. Hey, Texas Realtor, appreciate that. One of my favorite gifts, man. The good old hat and mustache. Love it, baby. Very, very on point for this game, too, by the way. Love that. CeeDee, look, you hope the Cowboys can come back and get this win just so CeeDee doesn't have to deal with some of the crap he is going to get for his drops late in this ball game, man. Big drop, on a 3rd down? Big drop on a 3rd down earlier on. I think it was in the 3rd quarter. Maybe it was early in the 4th. I forget. Huge drop right there on 1st down. Man, got to get this 1st down. I did say, I know some of y'all weren't around when we did the live yesterday. We went live yesterday after the Rangers game, and we kind of previewed the Cowboys game a little bit. I did say this game's going to be closer than a lot of people think. You have a lot of people saying blowout, Cowboys stand no chance, they suck, yada, yada, yada. This offense is too good. They've got too many weapons to not compete at all. Now, the offense has to be 9 out of 10, I would say, in terms of a grade. They have to be really good here. Oh, he dropped another one. Oh, no. Oh, no. And that was a tough one, but it was right in the hands. He dropped another one. Oh, my goodness. What is his deal? What is his deal? You have got to make that catch. Wow. That is ridiculous, man. It's right there. I know it's hard. I know it's a tough ball. CD's got to come down with that. That's why you're getting paid the big bucks, baby. That is why you're getting paid. You have got to make that catch. All right, this is quickly turning into it is going to take a miracle here, y'all. Right now, you're kind of in field goal range if you're the Eagles. If you get 5 yards, oh no, CD, come on. No, CD, do not go in the medical tent, CD. Oh my goodness, come on, bro. Do not go in that medical tent. Dude. Bro. You dropped it and now you have to go into the medical tent? Come on, baby. No. We know what's really hurt. Come on, baby. What are you going in the medical tent for? Nothing is that urgent. I'm sorry. What, a concussion? He's not going to his head because his head hurts. He's going to his head because he should have caught the freaking ball. Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10. Cowboys, 2 timeouts remaining. 1:50 left in the ball game. And looks like it is going to be close to a first down. They did not give him a good spot. Brown caught that one probably 1 yard short. They are not giving him a very good spot here. They're not giving him a good spot at all. They're in field goal range now, though. And Jake Elliott did hit like a 58-yarder. Is that Brown's first catch of the night? That's got to be like first catch of the night. Has to be. Turnover did hurt us for sure. Listener, appreciate you, man. Yeah, that turnover, the fumble by Sanders when we were in plus territory, that hurt. The Sanders fumble. And it doesn't help, bro, as a former Eagle. I'm sure he's going to get the insider accusations after this one's over. Man, Dak has been good tonight. I feel very encouraged watching Dak Prescott throw the football. This was going to be a tough game. It always was, but he looks really solid. Really solid. TLC, very pumped for tomorrow. Very pumped for tomorrow. Looking forward to the game. Was hoping to be able to go into tomorrow's game with the Cowboys win. It is going to be close. And looks like the Eagles are going to pick up a first down here. It is all but over. Jalen Hurts once again scrambles for the first. Just got to exhale a little bit here. It hurts. Always hurts. Doesn't matter if it's game 1, game 5, game 17. It just hurts, man, when you're this close and you have an opportunity to win and your quarterback is putting like drops in the bucket left and right, and you just got guys, your best receiver dropping it out there. It's just so frustrating. So frustrating, man. Nick Sirianni, cannot stand that guy. I'm sure all the Eagles fans love him. Cannot stand that guy. Yeah, Dak was phenomenal. Very encouraged. I think anybody that was a little bit worried about Dak and how he was going to look coming out of this one, getting chippy a little bit at the end here. Anybody that was a little bit worried about Dak, I hope he put a little bit of those concerns to bed. It's a great performance, I think, by the Cowboys. I don't think a lot of people expected this game to be that close. I did think that 8.5 number was way too big. Way too big. Dak getting on some of the boys, man. He's getting on some of them, telling them to clean it up. He doesn't like it. CD looks to be okay. He's out of the medical tent, you figured, but I got to put this game a little bit on CD. Look, 24 points. The defense was not getting a lot of stops in the first half. This game, a lot of it's going to fall on CD. A lot of it is going to fall on Lamb tonight. The big drop on first down, the big drop on fourth down. He had a drop earlier that forced the Cowboys to have to punt in the second half. Basically, 3 huge drops by CeeDee Lamb. I mean, that to me, if he catches even 2 or 3 of those passes, 2 of 3, I think probably a way different ball game. You're dropping 3 of 3 big-time passes. It's just not going to happen. Not going to happen. Painful. Cowboys did well first game. I know it sucks to lose. I feel actually fairly encouraged. The offense is only going to get better. This is the first game a lot of these guys have played. None of these guys play in the preseason. I feel pretty good. Defending champs at home. You're on the road in game 1. Coming back, you got a quarterback that hasn't played in forever. And you basically come, within 50 yards of winning the ball game potentially? Winnable game for sure. Just a winnable game. Eagles fans enjoy it. I'm encouraged by what I see. I think Cowboys continue to get better and better. Overshown, going to be back at some point this year. That's going to help the defense out a lot. And I do think as the games continue to go on, the offense is going to look more and more in sync. The drops are they're just painful to stomach. CD makes 2 of those catches out of the 3 drops he had. This is probably a different ball game. If you think if you watch this game, that's hilarious. If you watch this game and you think that the Cowboys are losing to the Giants, what do you think about the Eagles? The Eagles barely won this game, so I don't even want to hear any of that nonsense. Eagles are fortunate to have walked out with this one. Eagles didn't do anything to combat any of those drops from CD. Wasn't good coverage. Eagles fortunate to get this win. Don't get me wrong, they're not a bad team, but let's not pretend like 3 huge drops didn't significantly swing the odds in this game. I mean, you're totally out of touch with reality. Go touch some grass if you're feeling like Eagles dominated this one. The Eagles are fortunate to win this game thanks to 3 huge drops by CeeDee Lamb. That had nothing to do with the defense. Nothing. And a fumble as well. I have no clue if you're an Eagles fan how you walk away thinking dominating win. We looked awesome tonight. Okay. You almost lost to the Cowboys, who have been the laughing stock of the entire offseason. I mean, no lie. All you've heard this entire offseason is how bad Dallas was. Ooh, I love it in the moment when I get some inspiration. I already know what my next video is going to be about. I do not even want to hear it from the Eagles fans. Y'all barely won this ball game, and you are lucky that CeeDee Lamb dropped 3 huge passes late in the second half. Oh my goodness. And anybody that's saying Jalen Carter makes this game a blowout, please. 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 One guy is not making this a blowout. That is freaking ridiculous. Don't even go there. I know you're a Cowboys hater, but you don't have to be that nonsensical. Come on. One guy ain't making that big of a difference. CD did so. I love it how people say excuses. Bro, you watched the same game I did. A guy dropped 3 huge balls at a number of different huge moments in the game. Dropped 3 huge passes. I'll tell you what. Eagles fans are lucky. You're lucky to get this win. It would have been a very fun weekend had the Cowboys pulled this one out. Win is a win no matter what, but don't come at me like the Eagles dominated, please. Don't even pretend. Get that make-believe BS out of here. Don't even pretend that the Eagles dominated. The Eagles are lucky that CeeDee Lamb forgot how to catch a football. Very lucky. They played way better than everybody thought. You're not going to hear it from all the haters, But, Jeremy, that's facts. Cowboys played way better than anybody thought, and if CeeDee Lamb didn't have bricks for hands in the second half, this game probably is Cowboys 27, Eagles 24. Jalen Hurts had a good game running it. Was not super impressed with a whole lot else offensively for the Eagles. They had Jalen Hurts running the football. He had, I think, one or two nice deep balls. They scored 24 points at home. Barkley, I don't think he got to the century mark. I'd have to go to the box score here. I'll check it out. But Cowboys, I think, did fine for their first game. I really do. I really do. We keep rolling. I'm sorry. Sorry we let you down. Holding on Philly O-line. Yeah, y'all already know. If you've been watching the show for a while, you know I don't love to lead with the refs all the time. I really don't. But yes, of course, there's plays during the game where you're like, yeah, that's holding. Saquon had 60 yards, 3.3 yards per carry. Jalen Hurts was the difference maker on the ground. Hurts had 152 yards through the air. I mean, look, the Cowboys, did we hold them under 300 yards? They just got over 300. Just got over 300. They're showing the Dak, Jalen Carter. So Dak actually did spit in his direction. It's an interesting wrinkle. I wonder what they are going to do with that. I don't know if y'all just saw that on the broadcast. I guess Dak did actually spit in Jalen Carter's direction. Now, it wasn't a direct hit. Maybe it hit like the tip of his shoe. Jalen Carter, dude, that went like right down like underneath the shoulder pads, man. That was grody. But it does look like Dak actually did like spit in the direction. I don't know if it landed, if it hit a foot or two in front of him, but I wonder what the league is going to do with that one. I really do. Really do. Look, where's the pass rush at? The Cowboys, I think, got decent pressure at times. Jalen Hurts is very good in the pocket, and Jalen Hurts has very good escapability. I don't think it's really fair. Where was the pass rush? Where was the pressure? I think the Cowboys did get pressure. They flushed Jalen Hurts out a number of times. But we're not able to corral him. We're not able to keep him contained. And that is why he ran wild on the Cowboys in the first half especially. Don't come at me, though, with no pass rush. We flushed him out so many times. The Cowboys pass rush got Jalen Hurts out of the pocket, felt like almost double-digit times. I think the pass rush was fine today. That's why we were saying, how big of a difference does Micah Parsons really make in this ballgame? I don't think he makes a huge one. Chris, the only thing, if you put a spy, a couple of y'all have said they should have spied him. If you put one of the backers on Hurts, now somebody's uncovered and probably will get found. You just have to have those four guys up front. You just have to have somebody get a hand on him. They did well flushing him out, but somebody's got to get off a block and get him in the grasp. I mean, I just don't know if there was a perfect solution. You just got to have guys that can shed the block, get a hand on him, and bring him down. But Jalen Hurts, one of the best in escaping pressure, getting out of the pocket, and making things happen with his legs. I'll definitely give him a lot of respect in that area. It was a great game. It was a really good game tonight. I hate that the Cowboys were on the losing end. Never's going to feel good. And I definitely will take positives away from the game, but this one hurts. This was a winnable game. You had two chances late to march down the field and go ahead 27-24, and you didn't do it. For people saying Cowboys had no chance, yeah, there were a lot of people talking that kind of trash. No chance. Cowboys are trash. Look, I don't know how you could walk away from this game thinking that the Eagles are that much better than the Cowboys. Y'all won by 4, and you won because we dropped 3 huge passes in clutch time. The defense was not good on any of those passes. Lamb should have easily made all those catches. It wasn't because somebody made a nice pass deflection. It was literally Dak dropping dimes and CeeDee having bricks for hands. There's no other explanation. So any Eagles fan trying to talk a bunch of mess like it was a domination, Cowboys are terrible, Eagles are so much better, I don't even get it. What game were you watching? The Eagles probably lose this game if CeeDee Lamb ends up making 2 of those catches. And oh yeah, the fumble by Miles Sanders hurts too. Too Tall, appreciate you, man. Kirk, thanks for the comment. Look, 24-20 is not terrible. I mean, it wasn't like 30 plus was scored here by either team. The Eagles are figuring it out. Eagles have a ton of turnover on the defensive side. So I'd imagine this is me putting on the objective hat. I know that maybe that's going to be hard for some of y'all to take seriously, but the Eagles do have a very new core on defense. And I can imagine that that core is going to get better as the year goes on. So, Kirk, I hear you, but I do think that the Eagles are going to get better. I think the Cowboys will get better defensively as the year goes on. They'll get overshown back. I think maybe week 4, week 5 is what I heard last. That will be huge to get overshown. And y'all already know I love overshown, former University of Texas Longhorn player. Love that guy. He has been electric when he's on the field. So I imagine both these defenses get a whole lot better, especially the Eagles. The Eagles had so much turnover. They lost Slay, they lost Graham. I'm not obviously an Eagles expert on the roster, but they've lost a number of players from last year on the defensive side. You lost Jalen Carter as well. I can imagine the Eagles defense is definitely going to keep getting better. Hey, appreciate that, Jay. Look, I appreciate, and I've got some really good connections, good friends that are Eagles fans. I appreciate the ones giving a little respect. I know it's hard for some of y'all to do, but the Cowboys did not get blown out tonight. It was a very tight ball game, and I think there was a lot of exhaling in the stadium when CeeDee was dropping some of those passes. A lot of exhaling. It was a tight one. And these games are, for the most part, I know last year with Dak out, there were some blowouts, clearly. Cowboys, when you don't have your starting quarterback, that's going to happen. But definitely when Dak and when Jalen Hurts, when everybody's healthy, these two teams play each other, it's good football. It's good football. Brian, I'm with you. I just, CeeDee's drop, bro, singular? We got to go plural. Put an S on that word, man. Like, it drops, man. It was Dak dropping dimes pretty much all night long. I thought Dak played great. You might be right. He could have possibly spread it out. I did say on the live, I thought George Pickens needed to get more involved. Pick was getting a lot of one-on-one, and I know he had a couple of penalties. He had a couple of times where he was draped, but I'd love to see Pickens get more involved. Hey, yes, sir, man. I think they did play surprisingly well. It's definitely not easy to take a loss ever, but I think the fact that the Cowboys went into Philly, defending champs, first game of the year, no starters having played the entire preseason. You got a quarterback that's been out since early last year. I mean, Dak probably hasn't played since, is it about a year? Was it September or October that he got hurt? I mean, it's been a while since Dak Prescott has played in an NFL game. It really has. So, look, I was impressed with him. I think he's only going to get better as he gets the rhythm back. He had a good aura about him tonight, too. Just looked confident. I mean, he's a born leader. First of all, Dak Prescott's a born leader, but I like the vibe about him this year, at least coming out. Even in the preseason, some of the interviews, the things he was saying, I just like the way he's carrying himself. And I know that doesn't always translate to dubs, but he backed it up with the play on the field tonight as well. I think that's going to work. You got to remember, Pickens, this is his first game in the offense. You know Pickens is going to get more comfortable. You know that they are going to be able to do some better things, getting the ball around to different guys. That being said, I mean, look, say what you want to say about Dak not spreading the ball around enough. Dak hit CD perfectly 3 times, and CD dropped it 3 times. We're not saying any of this if the Cowboys win this game. So, Kirk, I hear you, definitely. Do I think a different quarterback that isn't mobile gets sacked? Yes. I think the Cowboys' pass rush was good tonight. Jalen Hurts is just a great quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts, I mean, look, I know it's super debatable. Jalen Hurts at worst is a top 7 quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. I'll say that as a Cowboys fan. I know some Eagles fans want to put him up in the top 3. I don't know if I can go top 3. He is a top 7 quarterback at worst in the NFL. So we got to give the man his props. He's good. And he flushed out multiple times, got flushed out multiple times, and was able to do things with his legs. That's why he's a Super Bowl winning, Super Bowl MVP quarterback. So, John, I totally agree. If you have somebody who's even a little less mobile, you probably get some more sacks tonight. But you got Jalen Hurts, one of the guys who is, I would say, the best. Maybe behind Lamar and a couple, maybe one other guy. There's not many that are better than Jalen Hurts at getting out of the pocket and doing something with the legs. We keep going. Dak is literally Romo. Look, Dak, I think the one thing I can say about Dak, just when, you feel like he's reached his absolute ceiling, it feels like Dak just gets a little better every year. I'm not saying a lot better, but it just feels like every year Dak plays, he just gets a little bit better. I don't know. I felt that way every year, and just when you think he's about to hit his ceiling, I feel like he just looks a little bit more in control, a little bit more cool under fire. Look, Dak is definitely a guy that is going to get a lot of praise or a lot of blame depending on the result. I don't think tonight is a night you blame Dak. We still them boys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where we at right now? Hey, we got over 10K? 10K. Let's go. What a milestone. I loved that we did it on the live too. I mean, look, it would have been cool either way, but man, thank you to all y'all. Haters and diehards alike. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys. 10K and 500 right now on the live, a little under it. That's phenomenal. Really appreciate you guys. Let's see. This is actually great. Owen, I love this comment, man. Owen, thank you. The comment is, for a Cowboys fan, I surprisingly can tell you have a brain. Look, I definitely don't want to bag on my own kind, but I will say this. Yeah, you got some Cowboys fans with some interesting takes out there. Look, I try to be sane. You know that the fan in me is going to come out at times, but I try and be objective when I can be. It's hard immediately after these games where you take an L. But look, it's a long season. Cowboys were always going to have a tough road. I said Cowboys, I feel like the best the Cowboys are going to be this year is 10-7, and I could see them being 7-10. I don't know exactly how this year is going to go. You never know in the NFL. You map out the schedule, and you think that a team is going to beat this team or that team. And man, that's why Survivor football is even difficult. I think in all the years, one of my best friends and I, we always do a Survivor League. I think we've won it one time, and we've been doing it like a decade plus, man. And most times we're out by like week 5 or 6. I think I've won one Survivor League where you're just picking wins and losses each week. It's hard. You never know what's going to happen in the NFL. That's why, and I told you guys this last night, for any of you who are watching, you can back me up on this. When everybody is pushing a narrative or pushing one side, is it always right? No, it's not. In fact, I think a lot of the times I feel like when the public is heavy on Cowboys are going to get crushed, I feel like the opposite ends up happening. Now, it's not always true, but it just felt like there were way too many people tonight saying Cowboys blowout. And that number ballooned to 8.5. when Parsons got traded. It was actually, I think, around 7, and then they traded Parsons because, they have these lines out way before the first week, way before the first game, weeks in advance. When they traded Parsons, that number ballooned up to 8.5. And I thought the line was crazy wrong. I mean, could the Eagles have gotten a garbage touchdown at some point and covered the spread? Absolutely. But I felt like 8.5 was a little too high. Micah Parsons obviously is a big piece of the Cowboys defense, was a big piece of the Cowboys defense, but I'm with Ethan. I don't know if Ethan is still hanging out, but he said it was the first comment on YouTube. Like, I don't think Micah Parsons makes a difference in this game. I think the Cowboys still probably lose this game with or without Micah Parsons. Let me know if you disagree. I really do feel confident in that. I don't think the Cowboys win this game, even with Micah. Carter, I mean, look, could Carter playing have made this more of an Eagles favorable result? Sure. Maybe. We'll never know. I think we can maybe make a good inference that he probably would have made his presence known at different points. Would it have been a blowout with Jalen Carter? I don't think so. I think maybe the Eagles win by something like 10. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe more than that, but I can't see it being like a 3-touchdown, 4-touchdown blowout just because of Jalen Carter. I really can't. By the way, I'm really curious to see what happens with Carter. The fact that Dak kind of spit in his direction makes me feel like they're probably going to take it a little bit easy on him. I don't think that they're going to suspend Dak. I actually kind of wondered, would they suspend Jalen Carter for spitting? I wonder if now that you've got the Dak angle of him kind of spitting in Carter's direction, do you maybe see Jalen Carter get a little bit less of a sentence than he would have otherwise? I thought maybe he would be getting a game or two after seeing that it was Dak that kind of actually was the one who spit in his direction first. I do think Jalen Carter will probably, maybe at worst, be out a game, if not playing next week. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think Dak's spit landed. And Jalen Carter's landed. It got all up in those shoulder pads. Like, straight up nasty, man. It got all up in Dak's chest area with the shoulder pads. I don't think Dak's little spit that he did from the huddle probably landed anywhere but on the shoe tips, man. Nothing worse than that. I mean, John, you're right, but I just wonder if they look at that, if the league looks at that and says, yeah, he was kind of provoked, basically. Look, maybe you're right. Skytron, I appreciate it. Maybe you're right. Dom, I'm actually with you. I actually thought, and I know some Cowboys fans are going to get on the refs. I actually thought both ways the refs were questionable tonight. I thought they were a little bit too soft sometimes with some of the taunting stuff. Like, y'all remember early on in the game, I forget which Eagles player it was that got flagged for the taunting. I'm like, that is kind of soft, man. That's soft. Now, RJ from The Fan, I know not all of y'all are going to know this if you're not familiar with DFW radio. RJ from The Fan thought that the spitting ejection was soft. I didn't think the spitting ejection was soft at all. I think you absolutely eject the player who's spitting directly onto another player. And I don't say that as, a homer Cowboys fan. If a Cowboys player spit on an Eagles player, I'd feel the exact same way. I wouldn't be sitting up here saying, oh, that's soft, come on. I'd be saying, yeah, that makes sense. He got ejected. So I actually agree with you, Dom. I think that both ways there were some bad calls. And that's why you're not hearing me lead off. The refs. I don't know. It's just a tired narrative. And you guys have heard me say this before who are longtime listeners. Like, I try and dig a little bit deeper than the refs, if at all possible. In baseball, if a ref calls strike 3 on a clear ball to end the game, yeah, you're going to be talking about the ref, right? If a ref on a football field calls a huge penalty that is on the last play of a game and it directly leads to the other team winning the ball game, yeah, you're going to go to the refs. But tonight, Cowboys had their chances, right? CD and the drops, I just can't lead off with ref with refs with the mistakes that the Cowboys made down the stretch. Zach, enjoy the win, man. CD Curtis absolutely lost us that ball game, 100%. 100%. Danny says, I think he'll get fined. I could see a pretty nice fine for Jalen Carter. I think it's going to be 1 game suspension or fine and big time talking too. I don't think he'll get more than a game. I know some of y'all are saying like 3 or 4 games. That would really surprise me, especially with the video that Dak kind of spit in his direction first. John, I agree. It is a little different, but, spitting on the ground versus, spitting on a player directly. But I still think there's probably going to be a little bit of grace given to Jalen Carter for that. Keep rolling. Eagles fan here. I don't care what Dak did. Jalen Carter got to be smarter than that and walk away. Karma, appreciate it. I mean, look, I agree. I think Dak provoked him a little bit for sure, but I agree. There's no excuse. Dude, you can't go up and spit directly on a star quarterback, man. You can't. And nobody blow that up. I do think Dak is one of the stars of the league. I don't know if he's superstar. I don't know if he's, in that elite class. I think Dak is a great quarterback. I think he is a star quarterback. You're not going to spit on Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Cowboys, and, nobody's going to care or notice. It would be the same thing if, Osa or Kenny Clark would never do this, but if one of those dudes spit on Jalen Hurts, it's going to be the exact same thing. Like, literally going to be the exact same thing. Miles Sanders' fumble was huge. Brian, I definitely agree. He did get into his feelings way too much. Yeah. The spitting ejection, let me see here. Savvy is soft when both players spit at each other. I don't think the problem is I don't think they see that in the moment, though. I would probably agree with you a little bit more, but, the refs don't see. Probably really didn't see Dak spit. And, I mean, look, when Dak spit, it was barely anything coming out. So it's just like it's hard in the moment to call when you don't see the first guy do it. Yeah, I'm with you. Kate, I'm with you there, man. Trade Lamb for 2 firsts? Man, some Cowboys fans are ready to get CeeDee Lamb out of town. Ethan, I don't know if I'm trying to bail on CeeDee Lamb after this game. I mean, look, I am frustrated as I'll get out with Lamb right now, but I don't think that we need to trade him. Wish they would have suspended the game before the Sanders fumble. Wouldn't have that been nice? That would have been nice. We keep rolling. Appreciate all y'all. Let's just hope let's hope the Rangers can do better. Let's hope they can win tomorrow. I agree. Yeah, I don't think you trade CD. I agree with you on that. I don't think you trade him. KJ, I'm with you. I was encouraged by the Cowboys tonight. I was definitely encouraged by what the Cowboys did tonight. Look, I'm not a huge moral victories guy, but I'm not going to take a victory lap for only losing by 4 in Philly. But I am going to defend my team a little bit if anybody wants to pretend like this wasn't a really close game that was not directly affected by CeeDee Lamb dropping 3 beautiful dimes from Dak Prescott. Don't come at me with any of that. You will see me defend them. No, I'm not going to sit here and champion to you. This is exactly what was supposed to happen. This is what we wanted all along. No, we wanted a win, but we're going to find the positives. There's a lot to build on here. The Cowboys play the Giants next week. I think the Giants will be a better team than what they were last year. I think they've got a pretty good offensive line. I'm curious to see the quarterback play. Of course, they've got neighbors. They've got a couple of weapons offensively. I'm looking forward to diving into that matchup with the Giants, but of course, I feel pretty good after watching tonight about a Giants matchup. I don't think you're taking the Giants lightly by any means, but I do think you feel confident seeing what you did tonight. By the way, Cowboys playing at home against the Giants next weekend. That'll be a 12 p.m. kickoff Texas time. We will get into that. We'll do a little preview of that to end the show. Pickens does need more targets. I think Pickens is going to get involved more and more as the weeks go on. I think tonight was totally like a feel-out game. I think they were feeling it out. He is playing really his first meaningful snaps, his first meaningful game with Dak and with the competition, with the Eagles going full speed right at you. It's a little different than camp, man. It is. So I think that Pickens, Lamb, just the whole passing dynamic, I think it is going to get better and better. Fumble cost us the game. Drops it too. I'm with you. Be nice, Cap. Be nice. I think that the Cowboys have a shot to make it to the playoffs this year. I got to be honest with y'all. There's going to be a lot that needs to take place for me to start using that word that starts with an S and ends with a bowl. I'm just not going to be on that page until I see a lot more. Do I think the Cowboys could sneak into a playoff spot? Yes, I think that they do have that within them. Do I think that the Cowboys look like a Super Bowl contender? Not yet. Not yet. It's going to take a lot more for me to be anywhere near there. Anywhere near there. But I do like what I saw tonight. Don't like the loss, but we did not embarrass ourselves in Philadelphia. I think you have your head held high in terms of the effort that you put forth. Maybe not CeeDee Lamb, but I think that you've got to feel pretty positive about some of the things that you did offensively. And even the defense. Look, the defense really, totally buckled in the first half. Second half, the defense really, I think, held their own and played a lot better. So even the defense, I kind of felt encouraged by. Yeah, I'm with you, Silent, on Pickens. Pickens, it does feel like the only thing holding him back is him. Yep, CD drop passes 100%. Scary Terry clears CD. Yeah, it's a close one, but I you know what? I'm not going to say Scary Terry clears CD wearing a Lamb jersey right now. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Ham Talk, yeah, 11 or 12 feels like a lot to me. Like I said, I think the ceiling is probably 10-7. That's ceiling. I think the basement is probably 6-11. I think 6-11 is basement. I think it's going to be somewhere in there. I cannot see them only winning 5 games or less. I think they're going to get some wins in the mix. I think the offense is too good. Offense is too good. And this is an offensive league. Yes, defense wins championships, and you need good defense to make it far in this league. But the Cowboys offense, if everybody can stay healthy, it just looks too good for them to be a 4 or 5 win team. Yeah, if Lamb goes out, if Pickens goes out, if Fergie's out, if they're missing some pieces, I'll get back to you. But I do think if everybody stays healthy, I can't see an offense with Pickens, CD, Ferguson, Turpin, Dak. And look, even Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, I was okay with that running back tandem. Cowboys rushed for over 100 yards tonight. We realize this, right? The Cowboys rushed for 119 yards tonight, 5 yards per carry. They were gashing the Philadelphia defense. Philadelphia run defense was getting gashed all night long. You had Miles Sanders, 4 carries for 53 yards. Yes, the big fumble. You had Javonte Williams, 15 carries for 54 yards. Cowboys' rush attack was gashing Philadelphia. I think there's a lot of positives to take. The loss sucks, but this was definitely getting billed as a bit of a blowout by the national media coming into this game. I think you really saw the Cowboys put up a lot more fight than what people expected. Of course, they benefit from Jalen Carter going out before the ball is even snapped. But nevertheless, I think 120 yards against this Philly defense on the road is impressive. Philadelphia obviously outrushes them, 38 carries, 158 yards. But look, 5.4 yards per carry for Dallas, 4.2 yards per carry for Philly. Dak Prescott, you had him go 21 for 34, almost hit the 200-yard mark. Had CeeDee Lamb, caught a couple more. Dak would have been over 200 yards. No touchdowns for Dak. Dak did not get sacked. And that's the other thing. Dak did not get sacked in this game. Jalen Hurts got sacked once. Dak did not get sacked in this game. What was the big question mark for the Cowboys? O-line. O-line was a huge question mark. For the O-line to give up 0 sacks in this game is huge. That's huge. So there's some positives to take away. Absolutely. We got 16 more games to go. It just hurts more because you could have won and you didn't clutch up when you needed to. And when I say you, I mean CeeDee Lamb. Miles Sanders, maybe throw him in there with the fumble, but CeeDee, he is going to take a lot after this game. You're going to hear a lot of people talking about him. A lot of people. Look, I love CeeDee. I wouldn't be wearing the jersey if I didn't. Love CeeDee, even though he went to that school up north of the border. Not an OU guy. Hook 'em horns till I die. But look, when CeeDee joined the Cowboys, I'm like, okay, look, you can't beat him. Let's go ahead and join forces. I was glad CeeDee got drafted, and I'm glad to be cheering for him now, but hated playing him when he played for OU. Hated it. Dude ran wild in Red River. Now, I think there's definitely a lot of people that are going to go over the top on CeeDee. I'm not going to be one of them. He obviously didn't have a good game, but look, the Cowboys are a couple of Lamb catches away from winning this football game. They really were. Now, is it possible that the Eagles make a really good goal line stand if CeeDee catches that one where he was diving, outstretched, ball hits him in the hands? Yeah, it's possible. But the Cowboys were running the ball well. I don't think there's any reason why they couldn't have punched it in. I don't think it's fair to say or a good inference to make to say, yeah, there's no way the Cowboys, if Lamb catches that big 4th down catch, we're not going to score there. I don't think you can say that. Cowboys offense had actually been pretty good all night long. But Lamb didn't catch it, and so it's kind of a moot point. But for all the people that are going to crush Lamb, I just got to say he's still our best receiver. He is still our ticket to being relevant, I think, offensively. He is going to demand a lot of attention. And look, you got to imagine Philly was very attentive to him in their game planning, and he still went for what, 110 yards? CeeDee probably could have had a $150 if, again, the hands didn't turn into bricks late. Commanders fan here. I was really pulling for you guys. Hey, appreciate all the gifts that all y'all are giving. Thank you so much. Means a lot. I know I missed some of you guys giving gifts after the show. I'll try and hit you up. If you gave a gift, thank you. I definitely don't want to be rude if I missed a gift talking. Please forgive me. But thank you so much to everybody that supported the show. Hey, for all y'all joining in, we got over 10K tonight. I couldn't be happier about that. Over 10K. It's huge. Fun. I would have loved to have done it after posting a video or something like that, but it's just way more special on the live. Way more special. Appreciate you guys. All right. Hey, next week, Giants. Again, we are going to be back right after that game is over. Actually, probably the fourth quarter too. Like we did tonight, we'll probably do fourth quarter for the Giants game. And then we will go and we will also do post-game coverage like we're doing right now. You get the vibe. If you haven't hit that follow button yet, hit that follow, man. This is what we do. Every Cowboys game, fourth quarter, post-game, and everybody's welcome. I mean, look, Eagles fans, I know we're hanging out right now. We got some respectful, sane ones in the chat. We always get some trolls too. It's all good. It's all good. Everybody's welcome. As long as it's not getting super crazy, nasty, personal, I'm pretty much good for everything. All for some good trash talking. You know it. Sanders had a great run before that. Nobody going to talk about that. Yeah, Sanders was good tonight. Look, 4 carries, 53 yards. Sanders, really up until that fumble, great game for him. I mean, the 49-yard run was huge. Absolutely. Yeah, CeeDee, not good. Not good. I'm looking forward to next week, to Sunday, the Giants game. I wish we didn't have to wait 10 freaking days, but we do. It is what it is. But at least we got Rangers baseball in between. We got a Longhorns game coming up. I'm excited about that. Yeah, there were, John, a few missed holding calls. I agree with you. Daniel, what's up, man? Cheers to you, too. Deals, I did see Fergie open a few times. I mean, look, Dak was hurried on a couple of different occasions. I think it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. If Cowboys can lose next week against the Giants, that would be huge for the draft pick. Ethan, you're already thinking about the draft? Come on now. Max, I'm with you. Not a big fan of the tush push, but like, I know that everybody's just going to call you salty when you say that. I just don't love the football play. If you're an Eagles fan, you love it. It's the best thing in the world, but I'm just not a big fan of the tush push. It's not fun to watch, and it does not feel like football to me. I mean, look, we'll agree to disagree all day long on that. I'm just not a fan of it. And I know there's some people around the league. I know there's a lot of people that feel similarly. I know there's a lot of people that say, hey, stop it, right? Stop whining about it and stop it. I get that, but I still am going to say what I'm going to say. I'm not a fan of the play. I don't think I hate it more than the ghost runner rule in baseball, but it's close. It is close. Yep, Brian, I'm with you. CeeDee's got that big contract, that big payday. You got to play like it. Got to play like it. All right, let me clean up some of the nonsense here. Sorry about that, y'all. I know the chat gets a little bit dicey at times. CeeDee overrated, Don. I can't go there. Bryce, you're going to take New York +3? Yikes. I'm not touching that. Cowboys have historically been really good at home, too. So I don't know if I'm touching Giants +3 at a Cowboys home game. Cowboys have been better at home than on the road. Hey, Caden, have a good night, man. Dak needs to run more. Looked like there were lanes to run through. Brian, when he did run, he looked a little bumbling. I don't know if that's the right word, but it didn't look great. Now, look, can it be successful? Sure, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous when Dak takes off and runs. I'm not going to lie to you. A little nervous about that. A lot of nervous about that. Yeah. Destination, that's what I'm saying. When Dak starts running, I do hold my breath. It's kind of like, for all my Rangers fans hanging out, it's like when Corey Seager runs hard. You're like, oh, please, don't hurt yourself, please. Please. When Dak ran, he really did have noodle legs. It was weird. Look, Savage, thank you. That's what I'm saying. It did not look pretty. Now, sometimes it doesn't look pretty and the job gets done, but literally, it's Dak and Seager. Every time those guys run hard, I am holding my breath. Please, don't get hurt. Saquon under 100 is good. Eagles did rush for over $150 as a team. That's not great, but that is what the Eagles do. The line, I think you got to give a lot of credit to. Guyton, it was his first game. You had Beebe, you had all those guys in the mix. You had some new faces. No sacks on Dak. It's impressive. It's impressive. I'm with you on that. That would be huge. Tristan, good to hear from you tonight. Ethan, I'd rather have playoffs, man. It depends on who's in the top 5, but I don't know, man. I cannot sit around after week 1 and say I'm already cheering for a high draft pick. Nope, just can't do it, my guy. Cannot do it. Won't do it. Cowboys not the same without Micah. Nah, I mean, we've talked about this already on the show multiple times. I don't think Micah makes a difference in this one. I think we still lose this game, probably about the same score. I don't think that there's a whole lot of difference here. It's tough with Micah. Honestly, the Eagles played Micah really well. I think it was in Dallas. The Eagles really played Micah well. Micah was overrunning a ton of the plays. Jalen Hurts would literally just run right past Micah Parsons. Don't you guys remember this? I think it was the game in Dallas last year. Micah was literally overrunning every single play, and Hurts was just running right past him. And that goes back to the compliments I paid to Jalen Hurts. He's one of the best escape artists in football. If you're talking about quarterbacks, talking about athletes in general. And so for me, I don't think Micah makes a difference in this game. I think Jalen Hurts, too shifty, escapes too well from the pocket. I think this would have been about the same result. Yeah, Dak spitting first. I think it's not necessarily going to be something that comes back on Dak, but I do think that Jalen Carter is going to have a much softer landing as a result. No clue why Dak did that. No clue. Agree about Micah. Yes, we need Overshown back. I think Overshown is going to be back like week 4, week 5. Overshown back would be huge. Absolutely would be huge. Yeah, look, we're not going to be a Super Bowl team with everyone smiling and smirking after the loss. Very frustrating. I mean, I hear you, but look, I think if you were here during the game, I don't think that anybody was happy about what was going on. I mean, look, after the game, I'm not going to let the Cowboys game affect my life until next Sunday. I mean, the Cowboys game isn't going to get me down for 10 days straight. I think those of y'all that have been around me for a while and have been listening for a long time, you know me better than that. But you also know I don't take the losses well, but I'm always going to try and look for the silver linings and look ahead to the next week. That's all you can do in sports. You take the lessons, you take the positives, and you try to move on to the next week. I think that's what everybody is needing to do. I'm excited for the Giants game. Good stuff to build off for this week. I think that you can clean up some things in some different areas on defense 100%. You can clean up some things in the pass game as well. I don't think anybody's pumped or happy, but I do think when the dust settles, you look at what you did in Philly and you say we did some things well, and we did some things that we didn't do so well that we need to work on, and I think they will work on it, and I think that the game against the Giants will be a good one. Back at home, the home cooking, a place that the Cowboys routinely play very well. I'm looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be a good one. We keep going. Kyle, give me a little more, baby. You what, did I miss your comment? Hit me up, man. I love it when people when people are like accusing you of ducking the comments. I mean, I get it. We got a lot of one-stop shop people, but again, you've been listening even for a little bit. You know me better than that. The spit, we already talked about that, man. I literally already said Dak was the first one to spit, and I don't think that it's going to be something that causes him to have any big issues in terms of suspension or fines. I do think that Jalen Carter is going to have a much softer landing. Dak did spit first. He did. Yeah, 100%. I saw the angle. They showed it at the end of the game. 100% he spit first. And with that said, I think a couple of the Eagles fans in the chat that hung out put it well. Like, yeah, Dak spit first, and that should have been noted. But Jalen Carter, you can't be an idiot and talk a big loogie into Dak's shoulder pads, man. You can't do that. Which I do agree with as well. Like, you can't retaliate. It's just stupid. But obviously, Dak was the one that kind of stoked the flame. I don't think there's any denying that. And I think that is what's going to cause Jalen Carter to have a much softer landing. I think he was looking at a couple of games suspension. If Dak would not have spit, I think he may have been suspended a couple of games. I think he might get off with a fine and a harsh talking to, maybe one game. Yeah, he shouldn't have fell for it, right? That is, I mean, there's no way around that. He should not have retaliated, but Dak shouldn't have done what he did. You don't spit in some guy's direction. You're just trying to be an instigator at that point. My Eagles fans that are hanging out, what do you think of this? Jalen Carter doing the Eagles front office a solid and decreasing his extension cost by a few mil. I don't know, man. There's some people that will pay some head cases. There are some teams that will pay some head cases, man. So I don't even know about that. They definitely did waste the time a lot by running the ball. But that's what the Eagles do. They ground and pound, and they kill a bunch of clock, and they just suffocate you slowly to death. Keep rolling. If Dak gets suspended next week, that would help my tanking strategy for the build. Ethan, you are not giving up. You are not giving up, man. Yeah, Dak did not look good running. I agree with you. Cowboys definitely did better than people thought, 100%. 100%. where we at right now? Hey, appreciate everybody that's liked the live. If you're hanging out, hit that like button a couple of times. Double tap the screen. Appreciate it. Helps get the live out to more people. If you're on YouTube, you haven't hit that like button yet. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but every time we get a like, helps push us out to more and more Cowboys fans, more and more NFL fans. So thank you so much for doing your part, supporting the show. I appreciate it. And look, special thank you to all of my paid subscribers on TikTok, paid members on YouTube that are hanging out. Just a little way that I set up probably about 2 or 3 months ago. One of the only things that I'm monetized on the channel. The main perk is exclusive access to our Ride on Rangers Discord, which has been awesome over the summer months and still going strong. Great group of people. So if you want to take your support of the show to the next level, the content to the next level, subscribe button right next to the chat. And if you're on YouTube or X, I'm going to drop that link in the chat for you guys. Pretty much everything that I do on the show is always going to be free. I'm not real big on monetizing every single little thing, but definitely appreciate you considering it. And hey, we don't take any support for granted. The follows tonight, the likes, the comments. Seriously, it's all very meaningful to us. We got over 10K tonight on TikTok. Huge blessing. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate all y'all. We keep rolling. Felt so sad when CeeDee was upset with himself. Yeah, look, I don't think anybody probably feels worse than he does. The fumbles and the drops were hurtful, 100%. Yeah, I actually already said, Astro, I think the Eagles' defense is going to get better and better. They didn't have Carter tonight. They've got quite a few new faces. I think the Eagles' defense gets better and better. I really do. I think the Cowboys' defense will get better too. It's week 1. So I'm not sleeping on the Eagles' defense by any means. The taunting call was pretty weak. It was pretty weak, I agree. The one where, I forget, it was early in the game, like in the first half. Yeah, I agree it was weak. Reffing was not good really on either side. I know a couple of the Eagles fans in the chat said that, which, look, respect for having a balanced take. I didn't think the reffing was very good on either side tonight. I think the Cowboys got away with some calls. I think Philly got away with some calls. I think the main difference in the game, Eagles could execute late. Cowboys couldn't. You had guys for the Eagles making catches, not dropping the football late. That's why they won. If the Cowboys would have executed better, held on to the football, Miles Sanders caught the football, CeeDee Lamb 3 times, probably a different ball game. So Eagles, ball security, and they executed late, and that's why they win. Absolutely. I'm not going to go there. I never want to say a loss is a win, so I just can't go there. I'm not a big fan on, this is just as good as a win or pretty much a win. I can't go there. Now, what I can do is say what we did well and say what we didn't do well. We didn't allow a sack tonight. That's really good. It's really good. Did not allow a sack tonight. Dak was not put on the ground tonight. I think he was maybe a couple of quarterback hits, but you know what I mean. Was not sacked tonight. You had over 100 yards rushing with 2 backs that were facing a lot of skepticism. The defense gave up, let's see, how many points? The defense gave up 3 points in the second half. That's pretty good. There was a lot of positives, but no, I'm not trying to take a moral victory. Absolutely not. Disagree, Samantha, but if you've never played the game before, you wouldn't get it. I mean, there's nobody that looks at a football game that you lose and doesn't try and learn from it, get better from it, take the good things, take the bad things. So can't go there with you. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Agree to disagree. It's not a loss is a loss and everything's meaningless. There's good things to take away. There's bad things to take away. You get better, you move on to the next week. Keep going. Throw the ball to Pickens. I would like to see a little more of that, 100%. Yeah, nobody's claiming victory. Nobody's claiming victory. The Eagles were better. I've said that multiple times. We got a bunch of people coming in, I know, at different times. But, I mean, look, I think I pretty much encapsulated it pretty well. The Eagles in the fourth quarter were not dropping passes. They were not fumbling the football, and that's why they won. The Cowboys fumbled in the second half, and they were dropping footballs left and right. That's why they lost. Execution was not good when it needed to be good, is what it is. I don't blame Dak at all, William. I'm with you on that. All right, y'all. Look, I got to take off, but tomorrow I'm going to be back. So if you see me pop up on your live feed again, it is probably going to be for the Rangers-Astros game. I do Rangers lives, Texas Rangers lives. I do Texas Longhorns lives. And I always tell everybody, look, whether you're a fan of the Longhorns or the Cowboys or the Rangers, come hang out, man. We'll talk a little bit of everything here and there. Rangers going to be doing a little 3-game set with the Astros. Tomorrow, Merrill Kelly pitches. Jacob deGrom goes on Saturday. A lot at stake for the Rangers. Still have a shot in the playoff race. We'll see what happens, but come hang out again. Would love to see y'all. We'll be back, though, talking more football, college football on Saturday for the Texas Longhorns game against San Jose State. Home opener should be fun. I hope there's not a lot of drama. Hope it's a pretty straightforward win for the Horns, but you never know. That's why you got to play the game. So we will be back tomorrow. We'll be back Saturday, Sunday. No Cowboys game, though, until a week from Sunday. So no Cowboys live for a little while, unless something crazy happens or something big comes up between now and the next game that requires a little bit more chit-chat. Otherwise, it'll be next Sunday, which will be the 14th, something like that. All right, y'all. Hey, appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much to everybody that followed during the live. Means so much. Everybody that liked, that commented, really, really appreciate you guys. And we'll be back tomorrow, 8th, 9th inning of that Astros game. That's the plan. Brian, yeah, there was a big deal made this year in the offseason about taunting for sure. Absolutely. Ethan, did they? I don't know. Brandon Aubrey was phenomenal. Jake Elliott was good too. Kickers were both on point today. All right, y'all. We are going to take off. Love y'all. Hope you have a great rest of the night. Hope you have a good weekend ahead. Come back and hang out tomorrow night for the Rangers-Astros game if you'd like, or the Longhorns game on Saturday. Those are the next 2 lives that we'll be doing. We might have a video out to y'all, maybe a short TikTok or something like that. We'll see what happens. But, again, appreciate all the support. Have a great night. And as I always say to end every show, God bless. Go Cowboys.